Hi, so I'm going to show you today my seemingly one of a kind guitar. I've never seen another like it. I don't come up with a whole lot of Google searches for the model that it is. Um, and it has been customized in a special way to me that definitely makes it unique. It is certainly not the best sounding guitar on earth. It is certainly not the best made guitar on earth, though it has seen a lot of miles and with just a little bit of care has become a very uh, awesome looking object, in my opinion. So let's start with a story about how I got this guitar. First, I'm going to tell you what it is, I suppose. So this is an Empro guitar, or Empro. You should be able to see there. And it lists the model number as an E12. I've never seen another E12. I've seen some references to M Pro guitars on the internet, and I've seen some of those references which refer to these being maybe at one time popular student guitars in countries that are not the United States. I got this guitar at a Goodwill in Utah. When I got this guitar, it was destroyed and looked like a piece of junk. It really looked bad. It was basically filthy. The strings were several strings were missing or broken. The tuning knobs were cracked in some cases. The mounting points for them were cracked. The posts in the tuning knobs were cracked. And the tailpiece was obviously bad. It was obviously the original tailpiece, but it was just like had grooves worn down it. Like someone had put steel strings on this or something. I don't know what's up with that. This is not a guitar with a pickup. It doesn't have any electronics on it whatsoever, which is definitely hampering sometimes, or has been in the past. So, one thing I'd like to do to this is put electronics in it. So, I'll tell you about what this guitar is for me a bit, which is that, I kind of found this at a time when I had a much better guitar. I had kind of left it around at a relative's place just so there was something around to play. He played it for his kids for a bit. And then I hit the road again and I had to sell my Martin. And this is the only thing around that I was willing to subject to the road. I didn't want to buy a guitar to subject to the road. I had pawned my Martin, and this was the thing around. So, uh, whatever. I was always playing elixirs on the Martin anyway. This is a nylon string, if you can't tell. Quote unquote classical style guitar. I guess this actually is a like what you'd call a traditional classical style guitar, in no uncertain terms. So I picked it up from Goodwill. I had I had the strings done. I got a new tailpiece for it. I had left the headstock untouched at that time. I have since put brand new hardware on the headstock. At one time, this peg was just cracked open, and all wound poorly. It functioned and it actually held tune really well, but it's ugly and it doesn't do much for the life of the instrument. So I had some work done on this. It cost about $250, I think, to have some work done on this. And you might say like, oh, is that $250 worth of work on this guitar really? But I specifically said to the guy doing the work that the point of the work is in little way to restore the instrument. That's really not the point. The point is to prolong the life of it. This is a guitar that someone before me loved for a very long time, and it is a guitar that I have put 2,000 hours on, I would say, roughly speaking, over the last 5 or 6 years, minimum. amount of time. I practice a lot. I like to just not practice as well and just mess around on it. I don't learn anything, but it's fun. So this guitar seemingly does not. There's no other. I'd love it if you show me another Empro, E12. I'd love to see that. This actually has damage on the card inside, and it's really hard to tell there. And I'm so sorry about the light, and then I'm a bad YouTuber, but there's more that might be on the card that I can't see here. I just can't tell, and I can't find another one. So if you can show me another Empro E12, I would just be blown away. That would be just the neatest treat. So let's have a look at like some of the features on it. I had this done. At one time, someone had put a strap button there. In just the wrong place. I had a new one put on the end right there. Nice brass one. I didn't spare the expense. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. I didn't challenge the rosette. I think that particular feature is sorry, but I think that particular feature is really important on old guitars. It's part of the sound, it's part of the look of the instrument. This is never going to be like a restored, beautiful, gorgeous instrument unless somebody has thousands of dollars and just tons of time. So it is what it is, but I want it to continue to be that. So, I had the guy that did the restoration, like, this looks bad, but this is all filled in and it's all smooth. It's just not painted. There were some very deep gouges in a lot of this on the side, and I had him fill those in and just barely touch up some of it. But some of it was left untouched, and he just clear coated it. This is an instrument with a story that precedes me, and I don't want to undo that part of the world, I guess. So this has obviously got some weird engraving on it, and who would do that to it? Well, it was me. It's my fault. I spent some time in Slab City, and a guy that I knew there briefly, who name was Half Stash, who signed this work, did this engraving for me. And as I knew I was probably getting ready to leave there, after spending about a year there, I decided I would just make this forever my instrument. Those are my initials. That is my street name. That is where it comes from. That is the engraving that denotes the time that this took place. And again, the signature. So, that's my Empro E12 guitar. And the story that I know behind it, I would love to know how this ended up in a Goodwill in Utah in such horrendous condition. I really would just love to know the story. I would love to know who played it, why, and when. I will probably never know those things. I only know my part of this story. But at least I can let this guitar tell its story. And continue to allow it to do that. It's not a highly valuable instrument, but it's my instrument, and it's really important to me, and it was really important to someone else too, and maybe with any luck, it'll be important to someone else in the future, right? So that's that, the Empro E12.